Okay, so this is top end of the garden, I suppose. What we've grown here is anything which kind of appreciates sunshine, so fruit, blueberries, with strawberries growing earlier in the year. We built the greenhouse about 7 or 8 years ago now. We're very keen on growing our own fruit and vegetables as much as we can. I'd recommend a greenhouse to anyone. We've kind of adopted a policy of growing things that the slugs don't eat. So everything that's here is something that is pretty resilient. The flowers are a mixture of herbs. So the ones in the front here are coriander and dill that have gone into flower and go into seed. And then a lot of them are fragrant flowers. And I suppose we've made some sort of conscious effort to encourage bees to come here as well. It's a great space. It's actually full of spiders and things, so if you're interested in insects, it's a great home for insects as well. So everything that's growing here is fairly slug resistant. And again, it's a good sun trap. It's due south. And we've tried to put flowers in here which are perennials, so they come back every year. I think terrace gardens have problems in that they tend to be very long and narrow. And we've tried to break the garden up here so that up the top is the very exposed sunny area, the area that we then grow plants, and this is the place to just sit down and chill. In the garden there's 3 or 4 places that you'll see where we have deliberately left piles of wood. We quite like things being generally not untidy, but just as they should be, and these are great havens for all sorts of insects to live. Again, we've got a large wood pile here which we've developed halfway down the garden now at this stage. So this is old furniture from the deck, and it's turned itself into quite a nice natural habitat. Because we're a terrace, we have neighbours very close both sides. You can see there's apple trees, there's 2 pear trees, and there's another apple tree further up. And most of the fruit is just left to fall on the ground. And it's there for the birds to eat as well. This whole area used to be the market garden for the St Finbarr's Hospital. Some of the trees we think are over 100, 150 years old possibly. And along the terrace from one end to the other there are remnants of the market gardens and the orchards. As a community, a few people from different houses have clubbed together with the apples in particular. And we've started pressing the juice collectively, but it's a nice way again, if you have neighbours that you're not normally interacting with, I think gardens can bring people together. Okay, so this may not look very exciting, but this is the remains of another great apple tree. What do you do with the stump? You just leave it there. So this stump's been left here. It's now quite a good habitat, I believe, for all sorts of insects and growths.
Because it's an old house, I think you said it was from 1890. So, and when you first came here, it was very overgrown. But instead of stripping it down, which is what a lot of people might do, you just gradually opened it up a bit, and you kept a lot of what was there. So it was great to see that you have some very large, mature trees in the garden because they support more insect life and more wildlife. Very important to keep those native trees. There's so much that you support. So the insect life, which it then supports other species such as the bats. So that was great to see as well. It was very exciting.